This is a training series made in collaboration with Saucony. I'm going to be testing, training, and racing in their all-new endorphin range for my Noosa marathon build. Saucony has a long history of producing high-quality footwear for runners. Their shoes are recognized for their comfort, durability, and performance, making them a favorite amongst serious runners and athletes. You can find their all-new endorphin range out now on their website. So big shout out to Saucony for jumping on board the Chasing 245 series. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Another week down, and once again, I'm back with another video talking all things training. You guys know the drill. We're gonna keep this as chill as possible, more of a podcast style vibe about the week of training that was the week of the 18th to the 24th of March. And this was my biggest week to date, which is pretty awesome considering Noosa is 9 weeks away. We are literally entering uncharted territory. But I also had a pretty big week of work to go with it as well. It was my biggest week mileage-wise, apart from the week where I ran my 100 Ks for Harry charity events. I think I ran about 125K for that week. We made it to 110 kegs for the week, and we finished off the week with what I like to call a big boy Sunday longie, which I will get to at the end of my training report. This video series is proudly sponsored by Aid Station. They are supporting me with all of my fueling and hydration needs for the Noosa Marathon training block. I've been using Aid Station to stock up on gels, electrolytes, and triple magnesium since the Melbourne Marathon build, and I haven't looked back since. They are offering my viewers 10% off with the code DAVES10, which you can find in the description of this video. Back to you, Dave. So let's get into the good stuff. Let's get into my training week. So the week itself was a fair bit different to the week previously. Not only was the mileage higher, the intensity was higher, but also the weather was pretty kind to me throughout the week. So I was complaining last week about how I had to run in the afternoon in the sweltering heat a lot. And this week was a lot different. So my work schedule had completely changed for this week, just this week only. And I was put on all nights. So that meant that I could sleep in an hour longer in the morning. And also I got to run at around 6:30 every single day for the week. And that just did wonders for my recovery. And it also meant that it was a lot cooler. Also, there was a shift in weather that changed this week as well. Last week, it pretty much rained on and off the entire week. So it made for really ideal running conditions, and yeah, really kept it a lot cooler. And I felt like I felt less fatigued throughout the week, and I wasn't building fatigue as the week went on. It was really great. Even though all the conditions were great and I got to run in the morning, it was still my biggest week ever. Lots of work that I did and lots of training. So let's get into that right now. So we come to Monday, and when I was talking about how I had lots of work, this was one of those days where I had a fair bit of work on. So I work with LSKD as an LSKD athlete, and sometimes they'll get me to be their representative for community events or charity events, etc. So they asked if I wanted to be the LSKD representative for the World's Greatest Shave for the Leukemia Foundation. The gig was from 4:30 a.m. in the morning till 8 at the Howard Smith Wharves, so in the Brisbane city, which is about a 45-minute drive from my house, and that was Monday morning. Basically, I was just in the background of a whole lot of shots where they were doing the weather and they were doing like a whole piece on World's Greatest Shave, and then they got me running a 1-minute warm-up, just getting everybody moving, doing squats, star jumps, and everything in the background while they were doing the weather. So super chill, super fun morning, but it meant that I had to get up at 3 a.m. to leave at 3:45 to get there at 4:30. So yeah, really early morning. So when I finished at 8 o'clock, I then ran around the city. This was just a recovery run, so 40 minutes. I ran it at 5-minute pace, so I ran 8K. Probably not recovery pace, but to be honest, I just wanted to get it over and done with. I was tired, I was hungry, and I just wanted to go home because I did have work again that afternoon. I wore the On Cloud Eclipse, and that was my Monday. So 8K, tick. Then the next day we had the first session for the week. So this one was a threshold session. We had a 15-minute warm-up, 15-minute cool-down. Like always, I do the 15-minute warm-up, 15-minute cool-down for all of my sessions. And then for the threshold part of the session, we had 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Okay, these were all with 2 minutes recovery in between. So for the 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and 5 minutes, these were run at goal half marathon pace. So around that 340 per kilometer pace. And then the last 5 minutes was done at 10K pace. So that was at 330 pace. I felt really good for this run. In the description, it says legs were a bit fatigued from Sunday. Oh, I guess I didn't feel really good then. Legs were a bit more fatigued after Sunday than I thought. Still felt reasonably good. Was definitely missing the super shoes near the end though. So I wore the Saucony Endorphin Speed 4s, which by the way are really great, but yeah, they're no super shoes. And after wearing the Endorphin Elites on the weekend, yeah, I just felt the difference, and you're missing the carbon, you're missing that pop. You feel like you have to work a little bit harder wearing the Speed 4s, which I think is good, because then when you put on those super shoes come race day or come key sessions, they're going to feel amazing. So I guess that's the point of them, and that's the point of why you wear like trainers, and just because they're going to last you longer, they're more durable, and you'll get more sessions out of wearing like a shoe like the Speed 4s rather than wearing your Elites for every session. But yeah, ended up running 16Ks, 427 pace. Then we come to my easy hour. So this one was run at 447 pace, and I ran just about 12.5K. For these, I wore the On Cloud Eclipse. Again, pretty much any recovery, I'll be wearing the On Cloud Eclipse for these. That day felt really good. Again, ran at 6:30 in the morning, was a breeze. Heart rate was 147 beats per minute. So yeah, super chill, felt really good. Cruisy. Moving on to Thursday, where we have my easy 80 minutes. So this one, again, ran it in the morning. Says here I ran at 6:20 a.m. This was one of those mornings where it was just super cruisy. The temperature was cool. I was just flowing through my rep, or flowing through my stride, I should say. And yeah, just felt really nice. Ran 450 pace. Ended up running 16.5K, and my heart rate was 143. So it's mornings like that. I think I said this last Thursday, but it's mornings like this that really just remind you that you are fit and that what you're doing is working. And it reminds you why you enjoy running, I feel like, as well. Then we come to, hello, lay down. All right, Chili's joining. Then we come to Friday. So Friday is the second session for the week. This is usually more of a VO2 focused workout. For this one, when I looked at it on paper, I thought this is actually a bit of a deload session. And I was stoked for it, obviously, because I kept looking at that big boy longie that I had on Sunday. And to be honest, it was making me a little bit nervous. And so I was planning on taking it a bit easier on this Friday anyway, but it just so happened that the session was a little bit nicer anyway. But the session goes as follows: 15 warm up, 15 cool down, and then we had 2 sets of 8 times 1 minute. Okay, for the first set, it was 1 minute on, 30 seconds off. These were done at 10K pace. Then I had a 2-minute recovery before I went on to my second set, which was 1 minute on at 5K pace, and then 1 minute off. I think it was good because it got my legs moving at a decent pace. I got some good speed put in the legs, but it didn't build too much fatigue. I mean, I did have some signs of sore calves after this session, but overall the fatigue didn't build too much from that day, which I was happy for, to be honest. I didn't really want to go into this Sunday longie feeling rough. For the minutes that were at 10K pace, I ran about that 330 to 325 pace, so probably a little bit faster. Like I said, I was feeling good. And then for the 1 minute ons at 5K pace, I ran about 320 per per kilometer. So again, a little bit faster than 5K pace. But who knows? I could be in 3:20, 5K shape. I mean, I'm feeling it. You bring the temperature down, it feels good. It feels good. And we ended up running 12.5K for the session in total. And what my speed sessions have usually been, it's been about 16Ks in volume, but having this Friday sort of more of a chill session, bringing it back down to about 12.5K, it was nice. And then coming to the next day, I had an easy 50 minutes. So I just set out for 10Ks at 5-minute pace. Again, didn't want to add any more fatigue than I already had in the legs. So tried to keep it sort of a recovery style, and didn't want to beat the legs up any more than they kind of already were. I was also kind of nursing that tight calf. So kept it very chill, stopped a couple of times just to sort of rub out my Achilles and my calves and my knuckles, and just sort of self-massage and stretch on the curb, just to get those sorted and make sure I wasn't getting them too tight. Wore the On-Cloud Monsters, I wore the On-Cloud Eclipse for that. And 10Ks, 5-minute pace, 50 minutes, easy done. Also ran that one in the afternoon because I worked early in the morning. So got it done in the arvo, got home, had a great dinner, tried to get to bed early because we were getting up for a big boy. We're getting up for the big boy. So this is the most exciting part of the week, and probably the whole reason that you're even still listening, because I keep teasing this Sunday big boy longie. So the workout goes as follows. We've got a 5K warm up. Then we go into 6K, 5K, 4K, 3K, 2K, 1K, all done at goal marathon pace. And in between all of those efforts, we have 1K easy. Then to finish off the workout, we've got 3K cool down. Again, run easy. So for the warm up, this whole session, I wore the Saucony Endorphin Elites just because I wanted to pretty much get the entire session done in them and just see what they feel like after about 2.5 hours on my feet. Wore those for the warm up. I ran around 4:45 pace. So kept it chill, kept it easy, which is also pretty hard when you're wearing the Elites. Like when you're wearing a super shoe, it's hard to run slower, or it's hard to compose yourself and stay at that easy pace. But ran that at 4:45 pace. And then my efforts were at goal marathon pace. So this is the marathon pace that I'm going to be aiming to hold for the Noosa Marathon. So anywhere between 3:50 and 3:55, I was calling goal marathon pace. So 3:55 per kilometer, I think will get me around 2:45. And if I'm closer to that, to 3:50 pace, then anything closer to that, and then I'm doing well. So when I set this workout into my watch, I programmed it perfectly. And then when I went to select the workout, I didn't realize this at the time, but I accidentally chose a 6-5-4-3-2 1 minute workout that I've done in the previous weeks. So I did my warm up, lap press, 5K, and then I got into my first kilometer and it started beeping at me. Well, I think I got into the second kilometer, it started beeping at me, and I realized it was doing 6 minutes, 5 minutes for instead of kilometers, which is annoying, obviously, but because the workout was just based off kilometers, I just turned off the workout screen, just put it to the regular screen, and just followed by kilometer by kilometer. So if you look at my workout analysis, the first lot of 6Ks just has a hell of a lot of reps in it, but I actually just broke it up into a normal 6K. So for the first 6K, I managed to hold 352, 354, 354, 354, 356, and then 352. So that was really good. My heart rates started to creep up. It was in the 170s, and then it was in the 175s at times, but it didn't really feel like I was working that hard. I think it was just my body sort of getting into the groove and getting a feel for the marathon pace. Because as you guys know, like doing marathon pace is not easy. Like it's a struggle, especially goal marathon pace when I'm 8 weeks away from doing that said pace for the marathon. Doing them now in the long run, it's still pretty tough. It's still pretty tough to do. But I felt like I settled into that pace pretty well. Regarding fueling, I had a Morton Gel 160 just after I finished my 5K warm up. And then when I finished the 6K and I went into my 1K jog recovery, which by the way, I did at 4:42 average. That was what felt easy for me at the time. And I managed to get my heart rate back down to 150. I grabbed a bottle that I had filled up with G1M Sport from BPN. And that was just carbs and electrolytes, and I was sipping on that for that 1 kilometer and dropped it back at my car. Before then, I went into my next 5K efforts. That 5K was done at 3:52, 3:48, 3:54, 3:55, and then 3:57. So that one felt a hell of a lot better. My overall heart rate for that rep was much lower, like 158, 165, and then finished on 166. So I felt like I got into a groove, and marathon pace was actually starting to feel a little bit easier, which I was stoked for, because during that first 6K, I was thinking this is going to be a long morning. This is going to be a tough grind, but I was feeling good. I was fueled well. The goal was around 50 to 60 grams of carbs per hour, which I ended up nailing, by the way. Then we get into my next lot of 4Ks. That was 356, 352, 353, 352. So found that groove, settled into that 352. So that's pretty much bang on. Again, the heart rate was looking pretty good, 161, finished with 167. So just right around that threshold pace, or just below, which is a confidence booster. Next, another recovery at 3:47. This is where I had another gel. I had a Morton Gel 160, so another 40 grams of carbs there. And I was sipping on my bottle as well, which had some electrolytes and carbs. Then we got to my set of 3K, which is 3:55, 4 minutes, 3:53. That 4-minute K there was a little bit of an uphill, and I was running it the whole kilometer into the wind. Not an excuse, but I didn't want to just slog it out and burn unnecessary energy and work unnecessarily harder than I needed to just to hit the split. So I just stayed true, kept the effort where I wanted it to be, and then just ran a 4-minute split, and then just made up for it the next K with a 3:52. So yeah, I wasn't really bothered with that, and I managed to keep the heart rate around that 169, 168, which was good. This was also where I started to feel the fatigue in my legs from the session. It's that fatigue that you feel when you get to about 25K into a run, no matter what you're doing, easy, hard. You start to feel like that heavy lead feeling in your legs. And that's when I finished that 3K, and I had another 1K recovery. This one was at 4:48. This one I took the foot off the gas a little bit more, tried to get more of a recovery aspect. I finished off that carb and electrolyte bottle. Yeah, I set off for my next 2K. By this stage, I thought 2K, 1K, I'm almost there. This is easy. I feel like I've done the harder reps leading up. The 2K, 1K are going to be easy. These 2Ks and this 1K ended up being pretty tough. I was sound aerobically, but I was starting to really feel fatigue in my legs, and I was really starting to almost feel a cramp coming on in my hamstrings and my chest. I trained upper body strength on Friday before it, and I had a bit of DOMS, and I must have been tensing my upper body as I was running through and kind of gritting through these reps. But for the 2K effort, I did 3:56, 3:54. So a little bit slower than, I guess, goal, but again, in the right zone and in the right effort. That was 162 heart rate and 168. And then we came to my final 1K recovery, which is 4:42. So I managed to, keep pretty consistent with those recoveries. Then I geared myself up for my last effort, my last 1 kilometer effort, which was run at 3:55 pace. I kept the 168 heart rate, so nailed it. Felt really good, apart from obviously my legs feeling like they were going to fall off. But apart from that, aerobically, it felt really great. And mentally, I was feeling strong as well. I then got to my 3K cool down. I paused the watch before I did this and just sort of had a little bit of a drink and shook the legs out a little bit. And then once I got going again, by this stage, I'm 31 kilometers into the workout. These last 3Ks were terrible. They were a punish. I was felt like I was shuffling. I was kind of fighting a cramp, fatigued legs. I just mentally was like, after stopping and then starting again and just running slow in the endorphin elite, just everything. And I was feeling a little bit sorry for myself, and I was just kind of punting along, just waiting for these 3K to be done. But I ran 351, 354, 351, yeah. 451, 454, and 454. Managed to get the heart rate down to 150. So was doing what I was supposed to. And that was a 34 kilometer workout in total, which therefore got me to 110 kilometers for the week. Fun fact, this was actually my third fastest time in the 30K. I'm assuming my 2 marathons, where I ran 251 and 256 were the other 2 times that I ran faster than this in the 30K. But to do that in training, pretty cool effort. Overall, my heart rate was 158, and I was at a 415 average per kilometer for the entire thing. So I guess if I kept running for another 8K, I would have got sub 3. Not bad for training. And that was definitely the biggest workout I've ever done volume-wise. The biggest workout, definitely workout. I've run 35Ks for a Sunday long run before, but I don't think I put any marathon effort in. That was one thing I was lacking in my previous training, and I'm really psyched to be doing now. But yeah, I've never done a workout where I've had 21 Ks of marathon effort in a long run at goal marathon pace. I feel confident. That built a lot of confidence in me. I finished the workout. I was absolutely buggered. Legs were written off. Legs had left the chat. Like I'd written in my description, absolute rookie, and chose the 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 minute workout in my watch, but it was easy enough to roll with. My heart rate settled down from the 5K efforts onwards, but the fatigue in my legs was the real deal. Nothing a bit of drum and bass can't sort out. Now that I'm home, I'm feeling good, but legs have left the chat. So legs were pretty beaten up yesterday, but I will say today they are feeling pretty good. I've already done my recovery run for the morning, kept that super easy. To be honest, they're feeling pretty good. I'm excited to see, I'm interested to see how they're going to feel with tomorrow's run, or tomorrow's workout, see how they prop up. That was an absolutely massive session and a massive confidence booster. I'm glad that Matt programmed me that. I wasn't sure if it was by accident. I messaged him, and it was just good to see how marathon pace or goal marathon pace felt that deep into a long run. So at that 28, 29, 30 kilometer mark, if I was able to keep that going, and I was. So yeah, really happy that I got through that, and it's been another massive week. Locked in. Noosa 245 is creeping up. We've got 8 weeks to go, but that is my week of training for last week. Hope you enjoyed that one, guys. But what we're going to get into now, we're going to get into a Q&A where people have sent me in messages on my Instagram story, or they've commented down below of the previous video. If you guys have any other questions, or if you guys have any new questions for me, you can answer those on my Instagram story that I put up on Sundays, or you can just comment down below of this video, and then I'll try my very best to get to it in next week's video. But yeah, let's get into the questions. All right, let's get into the first question. So, what were the biggest mistakes you made when you first started running? Nutrition, recovery, etc. So my first mistake when I first started running was I had no idea what proper running shoes were. I ran all of my runs way too hard. I just didn't understand what it meant to run easy, and the reasons why we run easy is because we want to be able to build the base, and we also want to save ourselves for the harder stuff and be able to perform at our best for intervals and speed training and long runs. And to do with nutrition, I also just had absolutely no idea, as anybody is when they first started running. They don't know that you're supposed to get protein in straight after a run, or you're supposed to get some carbs in and electrolytes before you run, and possibly during your runs as well, depending on what kind of run you're doing, if it's over an hour, or it's a harder effort, and etc. Especially when I ran my first marathon, I ran my first marathon. I had a banana and an ice long black in the morning. That's it. And I had one gel that I had at halfway. So and I had no electrolytes. So it's safe to say that I was an idiot and I blew up bigger than you could even imagine at 30K. I was cramping like no tomorrow and I literally hobbled in to the finish line. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. And I will put that down to just lack of knowledge, lack of training, and 100% lack of nutrition. 100%. Next question. I'm thinking of incorporating CrossFit for strength, dance for mobility, David Goggins for mental resilience work. Would this help me achieve a sub 3-hour marathon? Yeah, bro. You have just written down there the blueprint to a sub 3-hour marathon. Keep that shit going. Next one. What has running taught you? Running has taught me that if you are consistent at something and you try your best day in and day out, you will improve, and you will improve on your own terms. Running is something that you can do socially. It's something that you can do for fitness. It's something that you can do for mental health. It's more than just going out and moving your body. It's something so much more special than that. And that's why I feel super grateful that I can run every single day and that I get to make videos around running, and my job is to do with running, because running in a way has given me purpose. With running, you get out what you put in, and that's just something I absolutely love about it. What has it taught me? It's taught me to be consistent. It's taught me to be resilient. It's taught me to be positive. It's taught me to be optimistic. It's just taught me to be a better person, I think, in general. And last question. What's your recovery post-run look like? Stretching, etc. So after a run, with my recovery, what I like to do is I like to go into static stretches just to sort of let my heart rate cool down a little bit as well, and just sort of let the body relax. I've just put some strain on the body. I've just put the body through an activity, like a strenuous activity. And then after that, I don't really do too much to do with recovery apart from nutrition. So with my nutrition, after a run, I like to get protein in straight away, whether that's with a meal or whether that's with a protein shake, whatever it is. I like to try get that in within an hour, I say. I like to replenish. So I like to replenish my electrolytes. So I definitely have some sodium straight after my run. That is pretty much it. Sometimes I will go to recovery places like places with ice baths, saunas, and like the Normatec boots, like those compression boots, but they're on rare occasions. Sometimes I will go and get a remedial massage if I know I'm really tight and I haven't been there for a while. I'll get them to just rub out my legs, and which, by the way, is not a nice massage. Not comfortable, not relaxing at all. I find the best thing to do is to optimize your nutrition around your runs and making sure that you're hitting your like protein and carb targets and hydration targets throughout the day, and just get some good sleep. Get some good sleep. If you're running off 5 hours a night, your body's not going to be able to recover. You're going to feel shithouse for your run tomorrow. You're going to feel shithouse for the next run because you didn't recover well for the run before, and it's just a snowball effect. And by Sunday, you're going to be feeling like a bloody slapped ass, and because your body just can't get ahead. So just give your body the chance to actually recover. Get a good night's sleep. Get off your phone at 8 o'clock, turn the lights down, and stay away from blue light. Have your dinner early, pack up, go to bed, get a good night's sleep, wake up, feel fresh, and kick ass. That's it. It's that easy. But that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and supporting the Noosa 245 Marathon series. If you're not subscribing, make sure you do that so you don't miss any of my future content. And make sure you like this video so that you are supporting the series as well. And yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Ciao.